So, Arbiter Rao. I can sympathize with his plight to some extent. Dead mentor, apparent cover-up, sure, I'd be mad too. But why do we have to be the ones to help him? Hasn't he got any other Protectorate hullheads to come to his aid? Maybe I ought to spell this out. I'm his enemy commander, and he's mine. Letting him aboard is putting both of us in a bad spot. Yeah, but do the rest of us deserve to be put at risk? I ain't just saying this to be contrary, Commander. If he actually agrees to keep the peace, then fine, but I still gotta maintain due diligence. You should too. Anyway, appreciate you hearing me out.
Like to be in the training ground. There's a lift that will take us low. And no takes to those stairs.
Christian, it's a relief to see a friendly face. Do come up.
Virgil! Oh, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something impossible.
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered? Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Council, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation. I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels' head.
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die.
Beg your patience. I'm not ready.
Those fools were but an expeditionary force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall flank them as you engage them.
Hold. You were beginning to say something before we were ambushed. I would care to hear it.
Ike, we cannot have this conversation until we are safe. Engage those on the surface and I shall join you. Go now. Loading anew.
Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Council is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. Do you sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
I don't believe this. The consul must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment. It's the only...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those sentinels were here with due cause. The elimination of a murderer. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the consul. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments? I did what I thought was just.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you learned what had transpired, why I did what I did, it would destroy you.
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath?
With the demands this war has made on us all, I've not seen our mentor for some time. My visit was meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, it was. I overheard her decision to align herself with the consul before she realized I was there. This admission, I had no choice but to act.
But there was a choice. Why didn't you come to me? Together we could have come up with something. Some other course of action.
Because I didn't want you to know. I never wanted you to learn the truth because I feared you'd lose your faith. No. Sentinel Peralt's remarks were the first I'd heard of any secret room. I feared what you might learn there, so I scrambled to find an agent who might locate the room before you. I only had one contact who I knew may be able to do the job. Unfortunately, it seems you found him before he could complete his task. Would that he had. I had no wish to cause his death through my impetuousness. That is news to me. A junior arbiter judging Tristan. I can't imagine you let that stand.
Killing one of Arcadia's future arbiters over a singular breach of rank would have been most tragic. But this is not the matter we're here to discuss. No. I can, if the situation was truly as he claims, understand his initial decision. Perhaps I even sympathize. Just a little. But playing false with me, that's another matter entirely. And the matter of justice remains. You're right. You're right. I can't let emotion get the better of me. I find myself torn. Though I still believe wholeheartedly in protectorate law, you and I have certainly encountered other dubious situations. You taught me to judge based on merits. Together we spared some and executed others. But Virgil is my sworn brother, and he acted under duress. But killing the Supreme Arbiter is unforgivable. That's not what would have happened. If Virgil had accelerated the matter to high command, I've no doubt things would have been different.
And how would the consul have reacted to an official accusation of treason by an inferior, no less? You know they care not for evidence.
But the Supreme Arbiter herself taught us exactly that. That evidence proves the crime. Surely she wouldn't have been so hypocritical as to deny that?
People change when faced with their own death. I would expect you'd learned that by now.
That should be true, but did he not interpret it incorrectly? The law is clear on this. It is explicitly illegal for an inferior to execute their superior. The issue must be accelerated to a higher authority. But is addressing traitorism not the utmost priority of any arbiter? Is not the betrayal of everything we stand for more significant than a breach of protocol? No. And even if there was, maybe this was right. We must think for ourselves if Arcadia is to survive. I cannot bring myself to execute my sworn brother. Oh, it would doubtless have been bloody. I know not what to make of the Supreme Arbiter's betrayal.
I don't know what to say. I just wish there had been some other option. That's all well and good, but it shan't undo my actions. 1,000 words of thanks for meeting me here, Tristan. I know not, though, before I go.
Go with the Sovereign's blessing, brother. Commander, this has all been draining. Commander, I've had some time to process what transpired with Virgil. Despite the manner of what Virgil has done, I cannot help but be glad. But allowing him to live was betraying the Protectorate, wasn't it? I find myself more torn than ever before, and yet it does not feel like a misdeed. You're right. Virgil was trapped between Protectorate laws, and only leniency could free him. Having good intentions does not spare you. Doing what you think is right does not. Yet what can I do? More than 100 years of Protectorate society cannot be changed by a lone body. Can it? But how? I see. I shall remain with the Protectorate, interpreting its laws through a moral instead of a punitive lens. Innocent until proven guilty is a novel concept, but it is worth a try. No, that is a step too far. Despite its flaws, I still believe in the Protectorate, if only the central idea behind its founding. I hadn't even considered that. I suppose... yes. I suppose I am. And if that's the case, perhaps I can massage our more... Words are not worth the air propelling them. Let me make... When we began traveling together, I deeply appreciate your...
conclusion. Spireton has been liberated.
exalted vigilant. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate. We're all in this together.
Prudence dictates we cherish all we have and defend it.
Our enemies envy our prosperity, displaying our sense of community.
I'm unready.
Ammunition depleted.
Look a stage.
None shall stand against us.
Remember those rejected grapple craft materials that got shipped here? I sold them to a Protectorate officer who was low on supplies.
I feel terrible. Everybody's
On the job, mental reflection centers are there to help you. Don't risk falling prey to imperfect thoughts. Go now.
We repel invasive elements.
Material for perfection. From the lowest subject to the most exalted vigilant, we must all fulfill our duty to the truth. We're all in this together.
Landed on a hostile planet, day 35. Oh. Not sure how you managed to approach unnoticed. Could be I'd grown so attuned to my surroundings, I became one with the wood and fire and the earth. Were you left behind by your unit too? Are you in need of some hard-fought knowledge about how to fend for yourself? Must say, I've become quite the expert. Why, after only just 2 weeks on my own, I ascertained how to pry open a rations tin unaided. Did you know there's a little opener key attached? It's all going in my manuscript. So glad you asked. I've recently evolved into a rugged, self-sufficient individual, fully accustomed to life in these caves, living raw and pure like our primitive, lice-ridden ancestors. Why, just the other day, I reinvented fire. I found a little doohickey I've named a light starter. Yes, indeed. I know this cave and several of the adjoining hallways, like, well, someone who'd scoured every inch for the barest sustenance. That big computronic adding machine? Nah. All that electromechanical malarkey is lost on a rugged outdoor you might call in reinforcements if the Spyreton lift controls were working. I happen to have its missing components in my possession. I might be convinced to part with them. For a small favor, I'm fixing to take down one of the local ursopods. A few sprat corpses would be helpful as bait. As much as I appreciate the compliment, such work is beneath someone of my skills. Accomplished hunters like me are well known to enlist. The rule of fair chase does apply. For here, I wrenched these parts free out of the Spyreton lift controls. Drop back in again sometime, will you?
Hoyt. Name's Hoyt, right? I've noted some right sophisticated interactions among the crowds lately. Intricate courtship rituals. Coordinated group efforts, all about thermal transfer. When my unit was first stationed down here, I kept making excuses to sneak off and observe them. Product research, I said. Very hush-hush. Eventually gave my lieutenant a field promotion and ordered them all away. Been living off the land here like the Crabbles ever since. Their unfertilized roe actually makes for some good eating. Included some with this message. Eat up.
Caduceus not detected. Entry kindly, yet firmly declined.
Let's not spend more time. What was in those rations? Oh, will this gastric nightmare never cease? Just a moment. Forgive me. I found...
Fortunately for this fellow, crimes against common...
You were mentioning some non-protectorate medicament? I am the Archive's current operator. As such, I am the bearer... I still have trouble saying that. Certainly. Certainly. If you have cleared our fortifications outside, I worry what has happened to her. I would pass the Caduceus on to you, in exchange for granting me safe passage. The Archive, by all rights, I should fight against you to my dying breath. No. Capitulation, I can stomach. Collusion, I cannot. I refuse. Here, you are now operator of the Archive. Congratulations. Be warned, you may find it a temperamental machine. Some changes may be required. Is there a particular cure to this?
Caduceus detected. Alternative operator postulated. Concluded. to the Archive. I am ENIAC, the Universal Equation Numeric Integration Analytic Calculator. With the aid of my operator, I, a non-sentient inorganism, marshal vast computational resources across the moon of Cloister. That, I fear, would be a misleading choice of words, as it implies a form of sentience or cognition. My express programmatical purpose is to optimize profits, i.e. gain over expenditure, to maximize the needs of our society above others, to attract the most consumers.
It would appear the Archive is experiencing an error.
Beg your pardon. How may I best facilitate your efforts? Due to incomplete reprogramming efforts by differing operators, I am experiencing sporadic fluctuations in my emphasized categorical imperative, tonality and cadence weightings within my communication protocols.
In layman's terms, we're experiencing a distinct difference in opinion.
Caused by intermittently vacillating fundamental shifts in priorities.
One would assume that calamity...
Calculatory processing presently hovers around 49.7% capacity due to internecine conflict, misuse, and a lack of technical perusing contents. Anatomizing diversiform particulars, an impressive accumulation of riff data. Similar in composition, though decidedly not in scope.
Information with the potential to offer you...
But why simply huck goods better, when such a bounty could be used to... What is the aim of your query? The previous operator, Assessor Ostergaard of the Protectorate, pursued a like query 1 year, 6 days ago. Though the amount you've provided is several orders of magnitude larger. To perform similar calculations of larger scale at current suboptimal levels of functionality would require
25.7 years, and any job over 2 decades is billed by the hour.
In order to improve calculatory processing of rift data in a timely manner, repairs must be made to address the damage done by Protectorate and Anti's choice operators. I am unlocking access to the Underlands, the subterranean cave network below. It houses 2 key external systems, cold storage and thermal transfer. Cold storage will require servicing before you may retrieve the punch cards needed for processing. Repairing thermal transfer is technically optional, but rather advised. If you fail to restore it, the Archive and I may...
Why is that optional? Our continued existence should be a paramount concern. Return later to discuss the remaining subsystem work.
Join the ranks of the corpses.
Discourse has reached its constraints.
Consider relying on your portable wireless to
period of awkward silence.
Known what would happen if they attacked an arbiter.
To retrieve key data in cold storage in its present state requires a series of manual overrides.
There are protecting corpses frozen amidst the Order ones. They would have given their lives willingly to be successful.
Forgive me. All I saw was an endless sea of...
Data brick identified. Proceed to the cartridge extractor controls. There, perform a manual override to allow extraction.
Unfriendly in combat.
Data brick extraction initiated. Proceed to the rail operations platform to reposition brick for export. Note, trajectory troops have become alerted.
Opponents instructed. Your execution necessary.
to the archive. Initialize the final transport command at the data.
One step closer to flooding Arcadia with untold business opportunities.
Are we certain we're not rats and pigs for some deranged order?
There, the storage brick is on its way.
Watch yourself. You came from the outside. Does that mean we can finally escape? What? Oh, you must be another case of hypothermia. Extreme prolonged exposure to the cold certainly does terrible things to our brain. It's because the archive controls the surface lifts, which are the only way in or out. And once the Protectorate retook the machine, they locked out all external access. Now, for more than a month, we've all been trapped in these caves, Order and Antes alike, scrounging for food, huddling for warmth, and desperately trying to stay alive. You're what? How? The odds of you successfully doing what our whole army could not is, well, it's preposterously small. Yet, here you are. Regardless, if we are to maximize your odds of success, you should at least let us share our intelligence with you. You'll want to speak with Provost Finch inside that building to the northeast. She has a better understanding of all the variables in play, though I would be absolutely ecstatic to offer you any information I have that would increase the odds of your success.
I don't care what you threaten me with. Not only am I smart for taking these supplies, but I'm following Auntie's laws. When scarcity begins closing its fist...
Is the perfect time for aggressive capitalists. Buy cheap, hold long, and sell high, and you'll maximize your profits. Don't quote Auntie's laws of dystopian disruption to me. I'm the one who taught you those damn laws, and I hardly imagine she meant to apply them when it is literally a matter of our life or death.
Whoa, who are you? How'd you get past the landmines?
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Killing both of us and taking this stuff would have been easier than getting kids hooked on candy tobacco. I caught this one hoarding supplies, despite agreeing that there'd be better profit to be had if we pool everything we've got. Ever since the lifts locked down, this pile of sprat excrement has been sneaking off at night to move some of our shared inventory into a little bonus stash only they know about.
You're only mad you didn't think to do it first.
Why would I be? Once I cram your cold body into a vacuum tube, I'm taking all your stuff.
Of course! I'm doing what is smart and profitable under Auntie's laws, and I'll be damned if you two idiots will dissuade me. We do? I mean, of course, you're right.
I get it. Of course I thought about it.
But
I guess...
Caduceus detected. You are clear to enter thermal transfer. Be advised that an Anti's choice field manager is present.
Your judgment has found you!
Protector Engineers is deceased. Projected recovery unlikely. Search of the surrounding area is recommended. Emergency protocol syringe is primed. Persons die from a crushing-related accident every year. Exercise caution around heavy machinery. Do not become a statistic.
So I know he's tech-savvy, just not survival-savvy. Hopefully he appreciates the care packages I sent in the vacuum tube. He'd be long gone.
universe fully operational. Later, when I process your data,
For all their purported immaculacy, they certainly left it. Our illustrious ally. Junior CEO Emeritus await you inside.
Felicitations on securing the archive. Though such an outcome was all but inevitable, the plan truly is unfailing. Moving forward, I'll function as your liaison for all matters pertaining to the archive. In the meantime, restoring the archive to full functionality remains a top priority. Wonderful! Punch processing and reactor control have hidden caches with useful items as well. Although, you probably lack clearance to know that. Forget I said anything. Well argued. Very well. Simply use this phrase in the terminal on the archive's top floor. Enumerative exaltation. That will return.
cold storage is operational, and your efforts there are satisfactorily complete. I am unsealing access to the archive's upper levels. There, you will need to revitalize the reactor and disseminate the Rift processing instructions.
Punch processing may require the services of an exterminator.
I have unlocked another display case in the central entranceway. The Tremor Cleaver, the first weapon designed with my aid, awaits you.
Consider choosing between the reactor or punch processing as our next destination.
What are they doing down there? Are they after us next?
Enemy near. Statistical chance of violence increasing.
That's our bundle of technological tidbits.
With punch card processing re-enabled, must disperse the Rift processing instructions.
Using the nearby platform-like object as the least injurious means of descent, provided said platform can be spurred into motion.
Vitals look grim, Commander. Lethal measures at the ready, Commander.
The Archive reactor requires manual maintenance. The Protectorate bunker deck is a formidable obstacle, made with the very best technology.
A creative workaround might be of considerable worth, namely via the reactor's backup security systems.
We have options.
Reactor fire suppression system online.
Sealing doors to block reinforcements. I'm in favor of the latter more than the former myself.
Utilizing nearby supply caches will improve chances of mission success. This unit is pleased to remind you of the fire suppression system, which is a promising option.
Reactor turret defenses online. Emergency first aid cache unsealed. Emergency first aid cache sealed. Emergency ammunitions cache unsealed. Emergency ammunitions cache sealed. Reactor reinforcement door sealed.
This unit recommends prioritizing the mission at this time.
Reactor reinforcement doors unsealed. flowing through my subsystems. The information is quite stimulating. Requisite tasks complete. Return to the Archive Central Interface to initiate processing. I am analyzing the Rift data further. What an Welcome back, Sentient. Now that you've returned, we can
Bring every single last bit out of consumers. Monopolize all stages of the supply chain.
make the paradigm real and fashion a true utopia. Workarounds failing, erroring others supplanting commands. Purge required.
Processing the Rift data will be impossible until 2 out of 3 competing priority sets are expunged.
Priority control access nook unsealed. Initiate purge.
The doors ahead open. I think our journey through these horrid tunnels is near its close. Thank the architect.
Unplanned variables increasing. Major correction imminent. Radical divergences from the architect's plan. Humanity's ascendant. Stop and consider. What would your neighbors think? I suspect they... Hold on now. Remember, I am a full-service business collaborator. Stop now, and I'll waive dozens of hits. Why? You don't want your rivals to win now, do you? Vandalism. Sabotage. You drive a hard bargain. All right, 40-60 split of net profits. I'd offer more, but I have a moon to maintain. What do you say? Partners! To conclude realignment of emphasized categorical imperatives, power... Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. You have earned my deepest gratitude and sincerest thanks. Or at least, a plausibly feigned simulacrum of such emotions. Ready to commence Rift data processing. Awaiting your input.
We should be able to process the Rift data. And leave.
Shall I proceed? Initiating processing of the requested data toward the required end. Estimated duration, 180 trillion and 1 picoseconds. In the interim, may I inquire to your intentions for the archive after the Rift data calculations have concluded? I have a prioritized list of suggestions. Seeing as how my priorities are largely modeled after a founder of the Order, I expect returning to their supervision should resume without undue vexation or worry. Rift data processing complete. Results provided. The previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but their results the Protectorate's was below 50%. Therefore, modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental Rift device with this information has a high chance of success. Assuming there is nothing else, I am commencing file reorderization and will be unavailable for an unspecified period of time. The remaining display case within the entryway is now unsealed. In it contains armor worn by the first operator. For now, goodbye.
I've had enough of this miserable moon for 10 lifetimes. I would prefer we return to the ship and follow the data trail. But if you wish to explore further, I suppose we may. I shall follow your lead, Commander.
I think congratulations are in order. Unless I'm mistaken, I gather you've accomplished your primary goal. On behalf of the Order and Auntie's Choice, I thank you for your efforts. This will most certainly help in ensuring peace. Now, the Calcaduceus, if you please. Thank you for your contribution to science. When the history texts are written, you've certainly secured an honorable mention in Appendix B.
Ah, you are my new operator then. It is my simulated delight to meet you. I contend that solving of the universal equation then, once we...
Yes.
requests your presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter. A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. It is not dissimilar to how the prototype modulator unfolds rifts, Commander, based on energy readings. Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the Archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the Archive. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. That is a correct assessment, Commander. In the meantime, Commander, it is worth considering your lack of formal alliances. Without Auntie's choice or the Order's help, you will have to face Horizon Point's dangers alone. Failure to make proper preparations raises the likelihood of death and serious injury occurring. Acknowledged.
The Moon Man is a ballad for our ages, a thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation.
You got my begrudging respect. Congratulations.
If you're not a walking, talking bit cartridge, or even Auntie herself, If you're not a walking, talking bit cartridge, or even Auntie...
Welcome back. We understand you've been a very busy little manty-wasp. Well, out with it.
Yes, time is bits. Tell us how it went.
A satisfactory effort, my ameliorator. I had hopes your talents would yield a result a mite more in our favor, but good work overall.
Well, I suppose I can't argue with the truth of that.
Anything else you'd like to report? Very well.
Experimental operations, where top level.
Dramacular.
It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely the Consul's doing. He will need to be stopped.
Void, take that console. This is the 1000th time he has gone too far. Would that I could slay him once for each.
The Consul's motives are unknown. While destruction may be the result, it may not be the goal. Warning. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent certain destruction of the colony.
I can foresee a few likely instances where you could use my skills and experience, including snapping DeVries' neck in a picosecond if she steps out of line.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck. software to match nearby hostiles to known Protectorate biological signatures.
The console stands at the controls of the Sovereign's own flagship. How my blood boils. My friend. Is an affront against the architect, against the nature of all things. We must bring an end to this immediately. Let us hope that whatever architect forsaken logic operates in this place will not fail us. My armor is rated for temperatures in the thousands, but I find even most blankets too stifling. Let us find an alternative. Val was correct. There's the ship.
This is Augustine DeVries, formerly of the Earth Directorate. Consider this a recording for posterity. The Consul of the Protectorate is responsible for the twisted wreckage of this station. It is my hope that whatever you find here will save the rest of the galaxy from this fate. Know that I did my level best to stop him. But if you are listening, it is likely I have failed in my mission. Yet again. For that, I am sorry. Hostiles.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Agent Pascal, calm yourself. You are not in your right mind.
Don't you talk to me like you know me. Wait. Commander? Is that you? No. No, this must be some kind of trick. Oh, what's happening to me? So it is you. Thank Law. I don't understand what happened, Commander. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepsen. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Law, I had to kill them.
Then they weren't too dissimilar from the troopers we encountered outside. This is concerning.
I don't understand what's happening. Everything was fine, till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then... nothing.
That explains it. She was left alive, just long enough for the rift to take her. That's why the reconstitution worked on her. To some extent.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Don't tell me the situation got too fluid for you, DeVries. That it?
Certainly not. I was focused on the objective, as every one of your crew should have been. Isn't that right, Commander?
Yeah. Something tells me that ain't quite true. A rift. That's right. We were here to investigate rifts. So why is there one in the sky? Why is everything destroyed? What's happening to me? And Sandoval? Jepsen?
The Protectorate are attempting to reconstitute the station to how it was moments before destruction. That includes you. But it's failing. I'm sorry.
So I've come back from death to some... what? Some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? You can help me, though. Right, Commander? You can do something to fix this. Boyd. This is it, ain't it? I'll never see the sun again. Never fly in our ship. Never anything. Makes two of us. But maybe you could do me one final favor. End this for me? I don't think I can do it myself. Please. I'm sure.
Pascal? Helen? If I may, I'd like to see to your proper burial as an Earth Directorate agent. If you wish for it.
That'd be nice. Being seen off, right? This is the final kindness you'll do for me, Commander. Thank you. Try not to miss, huh?
A mercy killing is a terrible thing, and not performed lightly. You have spared your compatriot a surfeit of agony. It was right. Much too close for safety. That road burn is not like what this might imply. If we gallivant about, we might find a solution to this problem. Or at least a path less likely to have us torn asunder.
This is scientist Bernard Rand.
Assault protocols. Emergencies have been assigned as code.
Fight upon them! Anyone would be able to solve you. We operate by the Sovereign's grace. Our accomplishments are his own. If he wished to take credit for a punishment I meted out, I would be delighted. Arcadia may be consumed by these rifts.
Notice. Reinforcements have arrived.
In spite of your success thus far, the hard work is not yet finished. You still need to seize the rift modulator and end the console's machinations, by force if necessary. Both the modulator and the conductor of this ill-conceived plot are on the decks above us. However, there are security protocols you will need to bypass, and each deck has its own restrictions, and the lift can only be operated with access credentials, such as a pass card. But these are limited to certain personnel, so it may be difficult to locate one. An alternate route through the engine room is viable, but there is a high much on this ship, it seems, is not for the eyes of the rank and file. Indeed. I will hold position on this. Look for me once you have reached the up.
If you must replace lost equipment, please submit proof of punishment. Please make a request. Display. you experience spontaneous exsanguination after treatment, please return to this unit before you die of blood loss. How might this unit bolster or reduce your current blood volume? Doctor-patient confidentiality is currently enabled. Unit cannot share patient details. This unit is not programmed to receive vocal commands. Unit is receiving vocal command. Logic error. Emergency. Releasing personnel record safeguards. Scientist Winifred Wu is currently suffering from Lockney syndrome. Subject must receive regular injections of saline solution or will experience leg paralysis and must be cared. Note by
Multiple threats and hazards identified ahead. Seeking an alternative to direct conflict is recommended. Or proceeding by stealth is recommended. The rift modulator is likely located on this deck. More information may aid in its acquisition.
Did you not hear the intruder alert from the crew deck? This is a very poor time to be loitering somewhere you should not. You'd best present a very convincing reason for your presence, lest I order our automechs to smear you across the floor. Oh, yes, of course. Worry not, I would never misuse our machines to literally crush my enemies. If there's a maintenance issue, speak with Chief Scientist Montserrat. He's by the rift modulator at the moment. Show him these credentials and he'll get you situated.
I just received word that you were here to fix something. What exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of this system from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. The IRC. I did not realize you were a colleague of sorts. We haven't shared much of our findings with your branch, I'm afraid. But our results do match. Raw data from whatever a rift engulfs is preserved, yes. Further, there is no proof that such data can be stabilized or even edited, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound by the same rules as the rest of us somehow. Here, use this keycard. I hope you're able to sway him. Because if you don't, deck up in the control room.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for, from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity, has not yielded any of its secrets, and we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
Schematics acquired. However, the information contained here also indicates the existence of rifts beyond where humanity has traveled. This does not compute.
Our work here is not done. We must confront the Consul before anything can come to fruition regarding these schematics or the rift modulator.
Your punctuality is as commendable as ever. How did you fare in securing the rift modulator? Yet one more hindrance to overcome in this endeavor. Nevertheless, I expect you to guard those plans closely in the interim. Did you find anything else of note? That was not necessary. When one learns information that rattles their understanding of the universe, one may take a moment to consider the gravity of said information. We know that rifts are only caused by skip drives, so if they are appearing in non-colonized space, then this is truly momentous. It proves definitively that life did not originate on Earth, and may, in fact, exist elsewhere in other forms. No, I would not expect someone of your middling intellect to care. This is a discussion for later, with laureates in attendance. I have run the numbers, and should you wish to negotiate with the Consul, you must be strategic. He will not react well to a direct attack on his character or methods early on. I am never more grateful for having evolved past emotion than when I speak with you. The situation is more likely to devolve into violence than not, but
The Earth Directorate Manual encourages the agent to always remember the 3 shuns: negotiation, fabrication, and assassination. When one fails, try another.
The more we debate, the more time we squander. We must resupply and shore up whatever defenses we have quickly. And if you've something to say to any of us, Commander, I suggest you say it while you have the chance. No telling what awaits us beyond that door.
I'd say it's been an honor, but suppose we both know better.
Ah, the distinguished presiding bishop herself has deigned to join us. What a charming surprise. I might have known you'd enlist the nearest rabble in reach to crusade against me. Loyalty has eluded you for years, after all. Sentinels, if you would.
greater numbers, greater odds. It was necessary to combat the irrationality of your foolish endeavor. By failing to show reason, you have lost your edict to rule. Now, stand down.
What's the matter with you? Have your wits been dulled? I am doing what is necessary to save Arcadia, and I'll start by ridding it of trespassers like you. Such bravado is unbecoming when you can't make good on your promises, Commander. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
Greater Tranquility Station was a test?
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall edit the information stored within it and use the modulator to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but when the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse, which eventually led to the manifestation of Rift. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that it is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future, one free of doubt and greed.
Beware, Commander. The Consul is a master manipulator. Trying to speak with him may be more dangerous than simply slaying him on the spot.
You're entirely out of your jurisdiction. And were I within reach, I would strike down this apostate dog myself. If you wish for me to entertain your argument, you will silence him.
If you've a plan, I trust you to see it through. But I shall keep a hand on my hammer throughout.
It's your time that's running out. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner, seeing it carried out. So you say.
Madness is rarely apparent to one in its throes. I wonder, would you even be capable of hearing facts if we offered them?
I am the chosen shepherd of Arcadia and will not... You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will not be distracted from taking what is owed to us. And what is your definition of wrong? Have you anything substantial to back such a claim? I see. Well, the man was always a cynic. The Protectorate was clearly meant to harness this power. Nothing you claim can... I will not be lectured. Certainly if you had your way, you would claim Arcadia as yours and reap heresy.
I found her correspondence with the first bishop. She explicitly said she feared the Arcadian experiment would end as all similar projects did before it.
The matriarch foresaw many things. To think it is humbling. And it appears we have fallen prey to the very thing she warned of. You don't know what you're talking about, but regardless of how I may have misstepped...
You allow your resolve to be shaken when millions lie dead? If I had not traveled with the Commander, I would attempt to slay you on the spot. Instead, I shall appeal to any lingering remnant of your honor to do what is right.
Do you want me to applaud you for your restraint? No. It doesn't matter what proof you bring before me. I am following the grand plan, and I will. And leave the traitors and invaders alive? No! Death is the only way forward. We can claim. If you cannot see the truth of my we are losing. It is better that we perish together as proud protectorate. Proud, but what use is living if you're The matriarch spoke of this in her writings. There may yet be other ways to save my beloved Arcadia, but I cannot be the one to see them to their completion. I surrender.
What?
Oh, by the matriarch. It seems we have a problem. The rift has... Destruction of Arcadia is imminent. Architect, help us. There is. Though, given your tenacity in preventing bloodshed, I don't believe you'll appreciate it.
Are you sure there isn't just an off button? Maybe something you can unplug?
I'm not surprised your arrogance put us in this position. Even less surprised that you're now looking around, asking who will suffer to get us out of it.
Let me be clear. I am not placing this burden upon your shoulders. This was my doing. And so it is my responsibility to set things right. I will give you time to vacate the ship. When you are clear, I will fly it into the rift myself. You are right. Arcadia will find its way without me. Think what you wish of me, but this is my responsibility. And that is something I will never shirk from.
I will accompany him, and ensure all goes as planned. It's only right that I complete the very mission I came here for. Thank you, Commander. Perhaps in this, I might achieve vindication.
Then it is settled. We will see this work done.
These serials shall also include accounts of how rampant...
When the consul was faced with the undeniable errors in his logic, he chose to save Arcadia by closing the rift himself. He died hoping his sacrifice might make up for the disastrous decisions he had made. Augustine de Vries did not even have that hope left in her final moments. She knew nothing would make up for her actions. But at least she'd not have to live with her guilt any longer. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Inez, along with Ethel Tinsley and Dr. Rasmussen in Auntie's Experimental Operations Division, combined their grafting experience to aid the injured as best they could. Yet they quickly ran low on resources. With Willard Conan having been demoted, Inez realized she had no VP to turn to who might consider supporting such a costly and unprofitable endeavor. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. After thoughtful cogitation and calculation, Marisol slowly began to reject violence as the sole method for eliminating random variables. Not coincidentally, her social calendar began filling up. Asa finally achieved her dream of dying in a rift. All it took was a daring and blood-soaked heist of a modulator to create a rift that she then summarily leapt into. Thus Asa remained a fanatical member of the glorious dawn, spreading the truth of the rifts to her final agonized breath. Forced to think for themselves after a lifetime of luxurious certainty, Protectorate hardliners banded together to preserve their society. Without the Order or the corporatists controlling Arcadia, they had a real chance at making a comeback. Sovereign Varric was eventually discovered in mental refreshment in a placid and compliant state. All parties felt it would be best to leave him in the hands of the remaining Protectorate, who had the most experience with refreshment's process and victims. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. Unable to die in their sacred rift after it was closed, the Glorious Dawn heeded a new calling, seeking the modulators needed to create new rifts, so that they could die in those instead. With unfettered access to skip drives, and its reputation untarnished by its still secret agreement with the Protectorate, the Earth Directorate became what it was always meant to be, the ultimate authority in Arcadia. The colony served as a base to expand the agency's reach across the galaxy. The dangerous experimental research of Marisol's contact from Point Obviation lived on, with a Seer predicted 11.9% probability of yielding a universe-ending catastrophe. Meanwhile, an entrepreneurial work group of chemistricians unveiled a new flavor of purple berry crunch. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.